Hello, beautiful souls. I hope you're doing super well today. Happy Twin Flame Tuesday. We're just going to dive straight in. The Divine Masculine Collective is leading the Divine Feminine Collective now. If you're not familiar with my Twin Flame Tuesday readings, then perhaps go back and have a look at the last couple of readings just to kind of get up to speed. I'm gonna try really hard to not sort of repeat myself, because I know I've been doing that a lot. I've been purposefully sort of recapping for the purposes of new viewers, so it's not like I'm trying to exclude anybody, but I just don't want to sound like a broken record. So by all means, go and check out the last couple of readings just to, like I say, just sort of bring yourself up to speed. The masculines are leading the feminines, so we're going to start with the masculines, and we're going to be having a look at the heart space, mental space, and physical space for both the Divine Masculine Collective and the Divine Feminine Collective, and seeing how they coincide with one another and how they synchronize with one another. Do take this reading however you choose. You can take this as being the masculine and feminine energies within oneself or outside of yourself, i.e. between yourself and your twin flame or your soul flame. Entirely up to you. They are one and the same thing, so I will be referring to both, because I understand that there are many of you who watch these readings because you want to know what's going on with the energies within yourself, or just generally speaking what the divine masculine and feminine energies are doing. But then I also appreciate that there are some of you who are watching these readings to see what's going on between you and your twin. Perhaps you're in separation and you wish to reunite, or you're not in separation but you want the dynamic between you and your twin to be healthier. It really doesn't matter. These readings can serve all people for all sorts of reasons, so entirely up to you how you want to take it. Like I say, it's all one and the same thing really at the end of it all, so end result is the same. Yes. Okay, so we're going to start with the Divine Masculine, as I said. So let's have a look at heart space for the Divine Masculine. Whoop. Okay. Straight away we had two cards fly out. So we've got Dreamtime Creation and Shaman, Ancient Healing, Wisdom. Okay, so we have this beautiful green, which coincides with the heart chakra, which is represented by the colour green. So the Divine Masculine, sorry for the light reflecting off of the cards there. I'm still working on getting a better setup for these readings so that the lighting is right. I'm very much at the mercy of what the sun is doing each day. And at the moment it is pouring through my window and reflecting off of the cards, so apologies for that. We can still just about read them, so we'll take it. Okay, so Divine Masculine within the Divine Masculine heart space. We still have some healing going on. I trust that you've got yourself caught up with the last couple of readings, so you know roughly what the masculine and feminine collectives are doing at the moment, so I'm not going to go into that too much today. I'm just going to assume that you all know what I'm talking about. So it seems that the masculine is still healing. I suspect that this has got a lot to do with the 8/8 portal that just passed a couple of weeks ago. And we experienced DNA activation, new light codes, and we had a triple dose of Leo energy, which definitely lends itself to healing. Speaking of the sun, right? Leo is sun incarnate. Also, I know I say this every week. I'm like, oh, go and watch this video, go and watch that video. But seriously, go and watch all the videos that you can of past readings that I've done, like the recent ones. Okay, you don't have to go all the way back. But we've just completed a trio lunar event, as it were, where we had a full moon in Aquarius, then we had a new moon in Leo, and then we had another full moon in Aquarius literally just a couple of days ago, and that finished out this kind of beautiful lunar sandwich, as we're now calling it, which has influenced us in some very profound ways. So I've done readings for all three of those full moons. If nothing else, just go and watch the full moon in Aquarius reading that I did a day or two ago, because this will make more sense for the Divine Masculine. So rather than repeating all of that information, just go and check out that video. So yeah, this Dreamtime creation, the Divine Masculine energy is definitely in flow with the lunar energy, and all of the other energy that's going on, and the masculine within his heart space, he's having lots of ideas. I feel like he's not, I mean, we'll check in on physical space in a while and see if he's acting on it. I feel like he isn't acting on it just yet. It's going on within heart space, you know, so this is like the research and development stage, and there's lots of healing going on there, but I feel that they're working in unison with one another. So these fresh ideas, plans for the future, there's a lot of optimism here, and you know, it's healing him right from the inside out. So let's see what else we've got. Heart space for the Divine Masculine. Okay, we have emotions are running high, supermoon. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense, right? Because when we start thinking about change, you know, that's almost a side effect that we get emotional. Plus, we're looking at heart space, which is the emotional center of the soul and the body combined. So yeah, you know, things are pretty emotional for the masculine at the moment. Not, I don't feel that it's negative at all. I feel that it's just the masculine is very aware that he's closing up a chapter of his life. I mean, he's closing up a volume, right? He's starting a new volume. He's starting a new life, because this is a new version of himself that he's now expressing. So he's you know, he's feeling a bit emotional, you know. It's sort of as you would when you've changed and you're now moving on. So we've got that going on within heart space as well. It's all very healthy stuff, absolutely. Let's see what he's been working on within heart space, or what he is working on. Okay, we have the Ringmaster of Scrutiny, Discernment, Clear Vision and Details, right? So this also speaks to that kind of plotting and planning that I just kind of touched on. He's very clear-minded, that's probably not the right word, but he's this clear vision, right? And looking at the details. This is very much a Divine Masculine kind of thing to do, right? Is to look at the nitty-gritty of things and figure out how to get things done. So within heart space for the masculine, he is definitely putting a game plan together. He's kind of plotting and planning and scheming to put his ideas into motion. So this creative energy that we have here, he's putting that into a practical plan. So there's definitely Aquarian influences going on here, because Aquarius takes a dream and turns it into a goal. Aquarius is very driven, thinks outside of the box, forges his own path, and we're just fresh out of a full moon in Aquarius. And as I said, you know, we had a full moon in Aquarius end of July, then we had beginning of August, new moon in Leo, and now end of August-ish, we have another full moon in Aquarius. So 2 full moons in Aquarius. There's a lot of Aquarius energy to go around. And Aquarius really, I mean, so there's probably people out there that will argue with me on this, but the way that I personally view Aquarius is as a divine masculine energy. There's a lot of masculine sort of traits that Aquarius has when it comes to doing things differently, forging his own path through life, and like I said, you know, thinking outside of the box and just going about things differently, breaking the pattern, breaking the habit, breaking routine. You know, Aquarius is very rebellious. So there's a lot of that going on, I feel, here for the divine masculine heart space. And with it, you know, with this healing and the emotions as well, he's sort of purging, right? He's purging some, I don't even know if it's past emotion. I don't feel like it is, actually, having said that. It's more, I feel like it's saying goodbye, right? Is that kind of emotion where you're happy to say goodbye and you know it's right to say goodbye, but you still get the feels when you say goodbye, right? I feel like the masculine is kind of experiencing this right now. But there's a lot of optimism because of this discernment, this clear vision, and looking at the details. And you can see here this divine masculine depicted here. He's holding a wand, right? So he's creating, yes. So it's all very, very positive. So let's hop on over to the divine feminine and see what's going on for her within her heart space. We've been watching the feminine surrendering for the last couple of weeks, month. Right, we have 2 cards here as well. Okay, so we have clouds, shape-shifting, right? So she is, she has surrendered, right? We can move on from that message now, I feel. She has completely surrendered and she's now changing because of it. First comes the decision, the surrender. Excuse me. And then comes the change, right? The change has to come after the decision has been made, right? And then we have new moon promise. So this is new beginnings. This is a promise that she's made to herself. We can see here that the divine masculine and feminine are moving into alignment as a result of her decision, let's say. I'm going to put them this way around because I feel that the change happens and then this happens. A very loose timeline there, but yeah, so again, very positive stuff as well for the feminine. She's not doing the same things as the masculine, but the same energy is around, right? You know, the masculine is facing a new beginning and the feminine is too. But they're sort of they're executing the same energy but in different ways, as they would, because you know one's masculine and one's feminine. They're worlds apart, really. They are opposites. They are yin and yang. So the feminine, within the feminine heart space, she is embracing these changes. I feel that she's still deciding what she wants for herself. So is the masculine, but the masculine's going about it in a very masculine way, which is to look at the details and, you know, put pen to paper and make plans and do the maths on things, right? Whereas the feminine's way is not, the feminine doesn't go about things in this way. Which is why she needs her masculine, right, to help her to realize her dreams and such. And in the same way, the masculine needs the feminine, because the feminine goes about things in her own way, which is in a very dreamy, sort of whimsical, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this, and wouldn't it be cool if we did that? And then the masculine is, right, okay, cool, let me think about how we can actually get that done. So, you know, this is how the yin and the yang work together to create a whole. And this is how the energies work within oneself, right? This is why I said at the very beginning, you can view this as being energy that's working inside of you and outside of you, or, you know, both, one or the other. I mean, it's all one and the same thing. Although something to note, and I say this practically every week, is that we need to align the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves before we have it reflected outside of ourselves, i.e. between you and your twin. So if you're in separation and you're looking to be with your twin, you want union, you need to unite the masculine and feminine energies within yourself, and then it will be reflected outside of you. Everything that goes on outside of you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. If you are dissatisfied in your outer world, then you need to start satisfying your inner world. That's just how it works, okay? That's just the law of spirit and the divine and of energy in itself. It starts inside before it becomes outside. Everything outside of you is a reflection of what is, not the other way around, right? Everything starts from within. So if you want union, or you're in union but maybe it's not going very well, or you're feeling a bit upside down within yourself, then looking at this as being energy inside of yourself, and finding a balance between those two energies, and understanding how there's a symbiotic relationship between the masculine and feminine energies inside of yourself, will help you greatly to reach a satisfactory union outside of yourself. You've got to find the union inside first. So let's see what else we have for the feminine heart space. Okay, so we have, it's time to release negativity. We have a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign. So instantly we're looking at emotions. Again, the heart space is the emotional center of the soul. Also, Scorpio is very mysterious. Scorpio is a bit of a dark horse. Very mysterious, and can be a bit brooding, right? So I feel that the feminine, she's still a little, okay, the feminine surrendered, yes, but she's still looking for union, right? So I feel like she's a little bit conflicted on the inside. There's almost a bit of like darkness in there. It's not shadow, it's like that it's like that emo kind of darkness, like love is pain, right? I feel like the feminine is carrying that kind of energy around with her at the moment. That's just purely because she's still transitioning, right? But we're seeing that here, this cloud shape shifting. She's still shifting. She hasn't completed that transition just yet. So we're being shown here that it's time to release that negativity now, because it is negativity. Carrying around this whole love is pain attitude is not doing you any favors, and it's not doing anyone any favors outside of you either, and it's sure as fuck not doing your potential for union any favors. If anything, it's wrecking your chances of union, right? So the feminine energy really needs to let go of her masculine. That's what it comes down to. She's just got to let go. She's got to let go. Trust that he knows what he's doing, and he just needs to be left to it, to get on with it as he sees fit. And at the same time, that's part of the surrender, isn't it? Because the feminine collective is now in a follower role, and the masculine's leading. The feminine has been leading for the last 2,000 years, but she's not leading anymore. She's following, and she's going to be following for the next 2,000 years. So obviously the feminine is still going through this kind of conflicting kind of, feeling, energy, mindset, mood, whatever you want to call it, because she's just so used to being a leader. Now, it's a lot easier to be a follower and to learn from the leader and then step up and become a leader than it is to be a leader for a long, long, long time and then not be a leader anymore. It's a lot harder to do that. And girls, you can do it, right? You can do it. It's just a case of surrendering and trusting, right? It's trusting that the masculine knows what he's doing, and he needs to be left to lead. and don't like backseat lead, right? That's all that it is, right? And it is a decision. It's a choice, right? We're making choices all the time. It's funny, I was talking about this in the full moon Aquarius reading. Making choices. So feminine energy really needs to release that negativity of feeling like what I don't know. I'm trying. I can feel it, but struggling to put it into words. It's like the feminine's just carrying around this morose sort of I'm not in charge anymore kind of energy, I guess. But this is necessary, right? This is so necessary that the masculine has his turn, because he needs to blossom and grow into himself, and take on a compassionate leadership Leo role that he hasn't been able to do. He's been suppressed, and through his suppression, because is the divine masculine way of being very practical, he in turn has suppressed the divine feminine energy, because he's felt insecure and inadequate, and the feminines haven't been leading really in a very compassionate way. They've been leading in a very devious and conniving way for the last 2,000 years, right? So, if you look just generally speaking over the course of human history, over the past 2,000 years, we can see how that has been executed. Now, I did talk about this in the last Twin Flame Tuesday reading, how, it's psychology really, isn't it? Where the masculines have not they felt inadequate, but they felt that as it it's their role to take care of the feminine, but the feminine's been in charge, right? So that's not washed well with the masculine. So instead he's women have been beaten and suppressed and told that that they're lesser, just simply because energetically they're in charge, right? So I mean, if you look back over, like I say, human history, we can see lots and lots and lots of evidence of this. But now things are changing, right? The masculine is now in charge, but or rather he's leading. He's not so much in charge, but he's leading. But he is already beginning to understand that the feminine is so necessary. Just because he's leading, it's all well and good leading, but if you don't have anyone to lead, then you're not leading, right? So and the feminines are, I feel that the feminines are struggling a little bit with this, just purely because the masculines have been desperately trying to be in charge all of this time, and they've used their physical might in order to take control of situations, but energetically the feminine's still been the leader. So now, very openly, the masculine's like, right, I'm leading now, and the feminine's like, well, for fuck's sake, right? And the feminine is still struggling to find her place in this. The masculine's just sort of straight in there, knows exactly what he's doing. But he is very humble, because now that he is in a leadership role, he's understanding start that again. What wrong he did by the feminine all that time. So there's a lot of humility coming from the divine masculine collective, and I almost feel like there's I feel like that divine masculine energy is like apologizing to the feminine collective for just not getting it, not understanding, and wanting to help to heal the divine feminine energy from all of that damage that was caused. So the feminine has a lot of negativity to release, right? Because there's almost this hard done by kind of energy coming from her, and there's also this is it that she feels, it's not that she feels sorry for herself. I feel like she's just tired, right? She's tired, and she just is struggling to find her place as follower at the moment. God, there's so much noise going on outside right now. I hope my mic isn't picking it up. There's a lot of work being done on my house right now, and it's crazy loud out there. It's very distracting. So let's see, last card here for the heart space for the Divine Feminine. I personally, as a reader, as an energy worker, I have every faith that the feminine will find her place. I feel in a way that, like, the way that she's going to do that is to, okay, right, yeah, excellent, right, so we have the Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving and withholding. Now I was going to say is to find balance. She just needs to find some balance, that's all. Balance within herself as well. Obviously the Divine Feminine energy needs to find balance within itself. Okay, so we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. We need to try and balance the feminine energy a bit better. The masculine energy's just stepped up, stepped to it, knows what it's doing, and it's just gone ahead on autopilot. The feminine energy is being a little bit erratic. So we've got this generosity, receiving and withholding. There's that balance there of what's being given, what's being accepted, as receiving, because there's receiving and there's accepting, receiving that, right? You can refuse a gift, right? So there's and there needs to be this even balance of the generosity of what's being given, the receiving of accepting what's being received, and withholding, right? What energy is being kept for herself and not being given away. So this is all that the feminine needs to do. She just needs to focus on herself, really. So for those divine feminines out there who are watching this reading because perhaps you're in separation, you want union, and you're identifying with this divine feminine energy as being a standalone sort of entity, you, and then this is your twin, right? Just spend some more time on yourself, right? That's all that really needs to happen. Forget about your masculine, right? Let him do his own thing for a while, right? This isn't about him, this is about you, okay? View it this way. This is about you. Yeah, it's good to know what he's up to, but he's good, right? He doesn't need you right now. And at the same time, you don't really need him. Yes, you're being influenced by each other's energy. So you're doing him a favor by rebalancing yourself and by just forgetting about him and letting him do his thing and focusing on you, in much the same way that he's not concerned with what you're doing, is he? I mean, we can see that he's not, right? It's not that he doesn't give a fuck about you, it's just that he gives a lot of fucks about himself. So he's prioritizing and he's focusing on himself, and that beautiful energy is influencing you, ladies, right? So give that back, right? You're receiving that, give that back, and then withhold. Okay, withhold this energy for yourself so that you can rebalance yourself, release the negativity. And remember, this is a bright new beginning, right? This could be you and your masculine, right? Very, very soon. But you've got to surrender to the change. I mean, you have done, and well done. But there's still work to be done here. So let's move on then and see what's going on in the masculine's mental space. So what's he thinking about? What's he working on? What's he aware of? What's he conscious of? What's he up to in his noggin? Okay, we have re-energize. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, that's he's focusing on taking care of himself. He's thinking about how he can recharge his batteries. He's really consciously focused on that. So we can see actually from that alone that he's very connected with his heart space, right? Because it's re-energizing. Right? He's really feeling that there's healing energy coming through here. So he is, allowing himself to re-energized. Like, I feel that what he's doing is he's very conscious of what his body needs and what his psyche needs at any given moment. So, you know, he's saying to his, you know, his friends are like, oh, come on out, come down the pub with us, or come to the club, or come play some games with us. And he's like, yeah, you know what I really feel like I need right now is just like peace and quiet. Just just some rest and recharge, and listen to some music, and just sort of be on my own for a bit. And so he's saying that. He's saying, you know, no, like next time, you know, like let me know when you're all off out next time, and I'll come next time. But right now, I just feel like I need to do this for myself. Equally, you know, he's choosing good food and exercise over laying around in bed or playing computer games or whatever. He's really taking care of himself. And we've also got here rebirth, right? This is an earth card as well. So we've got this beautiful rebirth energy here in his. So he knows that this is a new beginning for him, and so he's starting to do things differently. Again, this is Aquarius energy. Gosh, I'm channeling so fast today. I am struggling to keep up. So let's move into a different deck and see what else we've got in the mental space for the masculine. Okay, we have loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Yeah, there's a lot of changes going on here. He is consciously making these changes. He is consciously aware that changes need to be made in his day-to-day, in the way that he takes care of himself, the way he carries himself, the way he addresses other people, the way he goes about conflict, how he handles conflict. Just complete overhaul energy going on here, completely. And he's, you know, it's in his heart, it's in his head. He is just kissing goodbye to his old life and reinventing himself, which has been just very necessary for some time now for the masculine to do that. It's necessary for the feminine to do that too. She's just a step behind him because she's following now. So of course it's going to happen that way around. Okay, so let's have a look at what the feminine's doing within her mental space then. What's she thinking about? What's she conscious of? What's she aware of? Okay, so she's doing the same thing, right? We've got relaxation. Okay, we had re-energize, and now we've got relaxation. So the feminine is doing the exact same thing. She's taking care of herself. She's just chilling. Again, she's doing the same thing, but she's doing it in a different way. She's executing it differently because this is how a masculine and feminine work. You know, they do things differently from one another. But we can see how in alignment they are, right? They're both doing the same thing, but they're doing it differently. So this is very good news that the energies are in alignment. We've seen them in alignment, the masculine and feminine, for months now. So we can see that, you know, the masculine and feminine collectives are on that steady mountain slope to the peak. At the peak is union. They are both climbing up both sides of the mountain, right? And they're in unison, right? They're in unison, which equals union at the top. Neither of them are tripping, neither of them are sliding back down the mountain. You know, it's a steady climb. We're getting there, you guys. We are absolutely getting there. It's happening. It's working, right? Keep going. So the feminine, her mindset is definitely on relaxation as well as, re-energize, relaxation. You can say is one and the same thing, right? Recharging your batteries. You need to relax to do that. Yes. So the feminine, she's taking long hot baths and she's reading her favorite book and she's drinking herbal tea and she's taking care of herself. She's mothering herself, and that's exactly what needs to happen right now. Let's see what else. Okay, yeah, right, okay. I was going to say she's sort of going back to the womb, right? She's giving herself nourishment, right? So we've got nurture. We have another earth card, right? So we're again in complete unison with one another. The mother, right? Mother Earth. So yeah, she's nurturing herself, but we also have divine timing. Now this is a spirit card. Divine timing. The feminine is very aware of synchronicities, just on the whole, and the feminine is also very much thinking about how there's a time and a place for everything. So she's aware that she needs to relax more and trust. Not only is she just relaxing in her day to day, helping her body to relax more and her mind to relax more, but she's also thinking about how just her approach to life needs to be more relaxed because trust needs to happen, right? With divine timing. She's aware that divine timing is a thing and that it is at play and that she just needs to trust it because really divine timing is the thing that's in charge. And when we don't trust it, there's friction and conflict. So this is all extremely positive. Yeah, we have fall into my arms, surrender. Holding the opposites, extremes of life, right? Holding the opposites, there's that yin and yang. And extremes of life, again, that's polar opposites, yin and yang. So the feminine is very aware that divine timing is a thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's hop into physical space then. What's the divine masculine doing? What's going on in his physical reality? Okay, so we have introspection, we have another earth card. So nothing, right? There is nothing really going on in the divine masculine physical space. Rather, let's make that more specific. There's nothing changing, right? All of these changes are happening within him, but it hasn't translated to the outer world just yet. There's a lot of introspection to go on in the physical space as well, because the dust is still settling from all the purging that he's been doing. He's been kicking people out. He's been physically throwing things away, tidying out his house and getting rid of things that don't serve him anymore, things he doesn't use anymore. Like he's had a big clean out. But he's also gone through all of the people in his life and things that just don't work for him, like his job, habits, the way that he conducts himself, the way he goes about things, all of it. Complete overhaul, and it's done now. So the dust is still settling on that. So there's introspection happening within the physical reality. I feel that he's looking around at his what seems like a significantly emptier space around him, and it's not time to put anything into that space just yet. He's resting and re-energizing, he's healing, having lots of creative ideas and things that he's starting to really put pen to paper and figure out how that's going to happen. And he's saying goodbye, right? He's saying goodbye to his old life. So of course, in the physical, he's in this state of introspection. There's just nothing going on right now. The dust is settling. Let's see what else. If there is anything else, I have a feeling that might actually be all we're going to see. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, right. Remembrance, ancestors, remembrance, right? So it's all going to be the same stuff, I think, no matter what deck I pick up here. I mean, this remembrance, right, is not mourning, right? It's not mourning, it's remembering, right? There's a very big difference between those two things. He's just letting that just chill, right? He's just reminiscing and just thinking a lot about the before time, which is now the before time, because he's drawn a line under it and he's starting again. So let's move on to the divine feminine physical space, because I feel that the masculine space is it's very still and quiet. Yeah, right. So the feminine, we have water. It feels that the feminine's physical space is kind of turbulent, but only in energy, not in not like physically speaking. I know that sounds daft because we're looking at physical reality. The energy within the physical space for the feminine is turbulent, but what's actually happening is not, right? I think that's just because the feminine is in turmoil a little bit within herself. Like, she knows what needs to be done. She knows that she needs to just chill out and relax a bit and give herself a chance to heal and surrender. But it's this bad boy right here that is creating a bit of chaos on the inside for the feminine. So within, physical space, there's some healing going on. So again, the masculine and feminine are doing the same thing. They're just doing it differently. There's nothing going on in the physical space, just across the board. Nothing going on. But there's a lot of healing energy here. So I feel that the feminine's doing the same thing as the masculine. She's sort of looking around at this significantly more empty space, exactly what the masculine's doing, but she's letting it heal. I'm struggling to articulate this. It's like the feminine's aware that that big changes on the horizon, and because this is water as well, so this is where I feel that there's a lot of emotion, and it's just the word turbulent just keeps coming back up during this channel. It's very turbulent. I feel the feminine keeps feeling different ways about her physical reality day to day. I mean, even minute to minute. Like, maybe she'll walk in one room and be like, I love how this room is, and then the next minute she's like, fuck it, I don't want to live here anymore. It keeps changing back and forth, but it's because it's healing energy, right? It's because in much the same way that the masculine starting a new life, so is the feminine. She just hasn't quite got a grip on it in the same way that the masculine does. So there's a lot of feeling going on for her, and for the masculine there's just a lot of like, okay, cool, right now I'm just gonna chill on this. I'm just gonna give myself a chance to re-energize, and the feminine's not really she's not going about it in the same way, and of course she isn't, right? she's going about it in her own way. It's a little bit erratic, but let's see what else we've got. I think I'm probably going to end up pulling more cards here for the feminine physical space, just because energetically there is a lot going on, whereas the masculine, not so much. It's just sort of one thing. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so we have awakening here. So, you know, this is also moving in unison with the healing energy. I feel that all the negative bullshit's just being washed away, and it's helping the feminine to get a real good objective look at her physical space. Oh gosh, that noise going on outside is so distracting. It keeps pushing me out of my channel. It's very frustrating. Let's pull another card. Let's pull another card. Let's use our doing deck and see if that sheds any more light on what the feminine you know, can be doing, should be doing, could be doing. Right, beautiful. Okay, so we have the Diamond Dreamer, material wealth and true prosperity. So, you know, I feel like this is advice, right? I feel that this is advice from Spirit. That the way for the feminine energy to really overcome this this erraticness and this turmoil is to focus on what is going to bring her prosperity. Keep things around in the physical space that are going to bring about prosperity. Now that can be money, that can be richness of you know, being rich in life, not money. Being rich in food for the soul, you know, this kind of thing. Rich in happiness, right? So focus on richness. Make this for the divine feminine more so than the masculine. For the masculine too, but more so for the feminine. Keep the word richness as your like mantra, talisman word, right, for the next week. Richness. Look around and ask yourself, does this bring me richness? The things that I'm doing in my physical space, does it bring about richness? So I think we'll leave it there. The noise outside is driving me mad, so I'm gonna leave it there. I think we've covered pretty much everything that we have to uncover, right, for this week. So look out for next week's reading, where the energy would have progressed. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, but slap the little bell right in his little face, to make sure that you you know, you get notified when new videos come out. I will be releasing the next episode of our Soma playthrough in the next handful of days, and there's all sorts of, you know, good and fun, useful, hopefully, stuff coming your way in the days to come as well. So I will love and leave you. I really hope that this information in today's reading serves you super well, and remember that you are important, you are valued, you are loved, and you will heal. Whatever it is that you're going through, you will get through this. Tomorrow is another day. Just draw a line under it and look forward to tomorrow. I will see you guys in the next one.